Are you still crashing in Path of Exile 2?
Wait. No. Wait.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm YungYdoc. Appreciate you clicking on the video. We're now entering into Path of Exile 2's third week following early access release, and what do you know? More players are reporting crashes. A lot more. And trust me, I get it. It's frustrating. But after combing through countless forums, comments, and crash reports, I've compiled a list of fixes that will hopefully get you back into the game once and for all. Now look, I've got about roughly 20 workarounds lined up for you, okay? Including some brand new ones that I think you might not have tried yet. So why don't we just get straight into the video? Let's not waste any more of your time. Okay, so as you can see here, potential Path of Exile 2 crash fixes. If you saw my previous video, this is similar to what I provided in that video. However, this one has a lot more to cover, okay? So what we're gonna do first is actually skip some of the stuff that I did cover in that past video and go down to the bottom here, and we're gonna check out Process Lasso. This is a new tool that seems to be working for many players, and we're gonna show you what it is and how to use it. And now listen, don't worry, if you didn't see that previous video, I am going to include everything again here in this video, but I just want to cover this one really quickly as a lot more people are going to find this probably useful at the precise moment. So what is Process Lasso? So you can see here, there's a quick description that I've written down here. You can use this to specifically set a rule for the Path of Exile 2 process to drop to idle priority and unassign 2 cores if the CPU usage rises above 95% for a second. And then it'll remain idle for say maybe 10 seconds, and then it's going to resume its normal process. Now, I know a lot of people are hesitant about wanting to download any kind of tool from the internet. Why would I have to download that? Well, listen, it's actually legit, okay? Okay, so now that we know that, let's go ahead and visit bitsum.com. Okay, there it is. As you can see, I've got all these tabs running with all this crap. Download the free Process Lasso tool, install that. I already have it installed, so here it is. Now, this is where all the magic happens, okay? We're going to quickly try to go through this as easily as possible. It looks a little intimidating, but it's really not. Here are my cores at the top here, by the way. There's 32 cores on my CPU. I have an i13. The first thing that you're wanting to do is you're going to go to Options, and you're going to find CPU, and then CPU Limiter. In CPU Limiter, what you'd want to do is put in Path of Exile Steam.exe. If you're not on Steam, you're going to use the Grinding Gear Games launcher, of course. Now, when the CPU use is at, you can do 85%, you can do 95%, whatever you're comfortable with. You're going to want to experiment with this, and obviously the more powerful your CPU is, the lower it can be. For me personally, I could probably do about 85%, but I'll do 95% just for this video. For a period of 1 second, reduce this core by 2 and this many cores by 2, and then for a period of 10 seconds. You would click add the rule and then click OK, and then you'd be finished. Okay, next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to Options, CPU, Pro Balance, Advanced Options, click Enable Pro Balance. Now, ignore all these options except for the following, okay? Lower idle to priority instead of below normal. You're going to want this to be on. Ignore all foreground processes. You're going to want this to be not on, so untick that. This is very important. Change affinity during restraint. You're going to click this on. CPUs 2 to 15. Now, the number 2 to 15, this is how many cores you have. I have 32, for example, so I would be doing 2 to 32. You have to find out how many cores you have, or this is not going to help you. Once you're done with that, click OK, you're done there. And just so you guys know, there are a lot of different forums showcasing this exact fix that I just showed you. A lot of people are spreading this information around, trying to help people as much as possible on Steam, on Path of Exile, etc. I've even seen some people post it on Reddit. So give it a shot. See if it helps you. I hope it does. Okay, and number 2, this is the other latest fix that seems to be helping a lot of people, and it's going to be Kapp's PoE UnCrasher. So what we're going to do here is go to github/Kapp/PoE UnCrasher/releases. I already have it pulled up here. And basically what we're going to do is follow these instructions, okay? Found a workaround that allows PoE to recover after it freezes. Previously, while your computer wouldn't freeze, PoE would still freeze. I noticed, though, that setting PoE to real-time priority allows the threads that are stuck to get scheduled again and resolves it. This new version sets PoE to real-time priority if it detects that it freezes, and then sets it back to normal after the loading screen. Now, guys, I know a lot of you are like, I don't want to download this too. This seems sketchy. Listen, it's not sketchy. This is what's happening. This is what the UnCrasher is doing. Go to the Details tab under your Task Manager. Pretend that this Chrome exe is Path of Exile exe, okay? What's happening is Kapp's PoE UnCrasher is basically just setting the priority to real time. That's all that's happening. And it's just doing it for a moment, just until your computer is able to recover. Then it sets it back to normal. So it's only temporary, doesn't keep it on real time full time. Some people have suggested put it on real time and just leave it there. That's not good for your system. Wouldn't recommend that. This, however, is able to, in real time, no pun intended, in real time, set the priority to real time. Once your computer recovers from a freeze, it'll set it back to normal and you'll be good to go. So follow the instructions here and I hope this will help you. Okay, so those were the two newest fixes that a lot of people are seeing to have some successes with, and it's kind of like the new thing on the scene right now in all the forums, comments, and posts and whatever. I'm gonna now show you guys some other ones that people have already been talking about for the past week or so, but maybe there's something that you miss and there's a lot of them here to cover, so let's get right back into that. All right, let's speed through these. Number one, update your Nvidia drivers or AMD drivers. Your graphics GPU drivers need to be updated. Everybody should know this. Some Nvidia users suggest downgrading their drivers to 560.94 has helped them. See if it'll help you. Number two, allow Path of Exile 2 through Firewall. Go to Firewall. This isn't something you should have to do, by the way. It should already be allowed, but just in case, allow app through Firewall. Go down to Path of Exile 2. Make sure that box is ticked, private and public. Cool. 2.2, adjust power plan settings to high performance. So go to start, type in power plan. You can see edit power plan was there. Change advanced power settings, and then right here you can choose high performance, power saver, or ultimate performance. People are suggesting high performance. Close out of that when you're done, hit OK, then close out of that when you're done. Number three, delete shader cache. Ensure that you have the game closed down before you start this one, okay? So how we're gonna find this folder is go to this PC, local disk, users, your username. If you don't see the app data folder at this point, go up to view, show, hidden items, bada bing, bada boom. Now you can see your app data folder. Let's move on. App data, roaming, all the way down to Path of Exile 2. And now you'll find shader cache, Vulkan, DX12, and 11. Delete all of those shader cache folders. Once you're done with that, you're almost finished. You're going to close out of that. And if you have Nvidia, you'll be setting your unlimited, if it's already at unlimited, in the control panel to 100 gigabytes. So let me show you how that works. Go to Nvidia, control panel, manage 3D settings, scroll down until you see shader cache size. Mine's currently at 100 gigabytes. It was set to unlimited prior to this fix. Once you're done with that, close out of that. If you have Steam, at this point, you want to do number 4. Verify the integrity of your Path of Exile 2 files on Steam. So how will you do that? Open up Steam, go to your library, find Path of Exile 2, right-click it, Properties, Installed Files, and verify integrity of the game files. Once that does that, hopefully it'll verify the integrity of the game files. There'll be no corruptions of any kind. It'll fix it if there is, and try to log into the game and see if that helps you. Now I have just a small one here, 4.1. If you're running PoE from Steam, go to the Downloads tab and just clear your download cache, and then also disable your Steam overlay. In order to do that, go to Steam, you're gonna go to Library, Downloads, click on this cogwheel in the top right, clear download cache. You're just going to clear that cache there, okay? And for 4.2, to disable the Steam overlay, this for whatever reason has helped some people, just go down to in-game, enable the Steam overlay while in-game. Just turn that off, okay? Once you're done there, go ahead and click out of that and see if it works. Number 5, this is going to be launch options that you're going to edit in Steam. This is from the YouTuber creator Exile Academy VS. I'm not sure if somebody else before him had shown this fix, but go to Path of Exile 2 in your library of Steam, find launch options under General under Path of Exile, and what you're going to type in for the first one is going to be dash, I believe you can also just do dash, but dash, no async. This is going to disable the asynchronous loading, such as when the game tries to load assets in the background while you're playing. This can help some high-end PCs. On some, it's actually going to cause further instability and crashes, okay? Moving on, dash, no logo. This is going to disable any logos and intro animations on your startup. It's a small tweak, but anything helps. Dash, wait for preload. This is going to preload everything, all the assets in the game before you start playing. But so before you have the option to actually do anything in the game, this is going to actually preload all the necessary assets, and hopefully this will help you to just kind of minimize any strain on your PC. Once you're done with that, just go ahead and click off. Number 6, some people have mentioned that if you go into the compatibility tab for Path of Exile 2 and set the compatibility mode to Windows 7, that has helped them. I believe this has something to do with the Windows version of 24H2 being the culprit for some players. People swear that that's the issue. Then again, there's people who are on the regress version of Windows, which was 23H2, and they were experiencing all sorts of hard crashes, soft crashes to the desktop and freezes, etc. So a lot of this may just be anecdotal and placebo. Try to set the compatibility tab for Path of Exile 2 to Windows 7 and see if it helps you. In order to do that, you would just open up your task manager and then just go to the details tab, find Path of Exile 2, and you would basically just go to properties, compatibility, and then you could run this program in compatibility mode 4 and then drop down to whatever you want. You can test a few different ones and see if it helps you out, okay? Number 7, reset the config file. So what you're gonna do for this one, you can go to this PC if you want, or just find your documents, My Games, Path of Exile 2, and you're gonna see PoE2 production config. Make sure you copy this and paste it to your desktop before you delete it, okay? Make sure the game is also shut down. So you're going to delete the config folder after you paste a copy of it here. Once you've done that, close this out, run the game, and see if that helped by generating a fresh config for you. Okay, so for number 8, 9, 10, and all of these 11s here, this is going to be in-game where we need to adjust some of the in-game settings. Now, I think most people have probably already tried this at this point. If you haven't, we're going to quickly just run through it, okay? So you're going to go to Options. The first one is going to be Render Vulkan. The default is DirectX 12. It seems that Vulkan seems to be the sweet spot for most people. Go ahead and scroll down here. The next culprit is going to be Engine Multi-Threading. Now, it literally says here that this setting allows using more than a single core of your CPU, and it is highly recommended not to disable this option. If you're freezing in between loading screens, before you load in or zone out, turn this off, load into the new screen, then turn it back on. That is what people have been doing. See if it helps you. It's unfortunate that at this moment you're going to have to be constantly fidgeting with the engine multi-threading and the options of your graphics for Path of Exile 2, but it is what it is. If you want to play, apparently that's what some people have to do. Maybe it'll work for you. If you scroll back up, you're going to see upscale mode. I currently have it on NIS, which is the default, but some people are finding some relief with more stable FPS by using the FSR. Give that a shot. Also, Nvidia DLSS seems to help some people as well. If we scroll back down here, it's obvious here you just want to kind of give your PC a little bit of a break here and lower some of the detail settings. So the game might not look as great, but at least it'll be able to run and you can actually play. And as I've said here, obviously tinker around with some of the in-game settings as needed for your individual PC and circumstances and see what works for you.
And I wanted to throw one more in here, you guys. Some people have mentioned that if you turn off the Nvidia Reflex, I currently have it on plus boost. If you put it to off, for whatever reason, a lot of people are reporting that this does help. And of course, make sure the foreground FPS cap and background FPS cap are at 60 and 60.
Number 12, roll back Windows 11 version 24H2 to 23H2. Now listen, the issue with this is that after 10 days of your upgrade to 24H2, Windows no longer gives you the option to roll back. So you're going to have to find 23H2 version through a bootable Windows USB and a clean install for that version. The other issue is that Microsoft website only provides the ISO and USB for version 24H2. So good luck finding that version. You may have to do a little searching around on the web to find that one. Number 13, you want to do check disk. If you have an SSD, which is solid state drive, you might have some smart software that checks for damages on its own. You can read more about that here. And then if you're using a hard drive, either way, you can do check disk. You would type that in, run the command. If it doesn't pop up when you do that, hit run as administrator. Once you run as administrator, type in sfc/scan now. And basically what that's going to do is just check for any corrupted files, fix that for you, and then move on from there. When you're doing this, make sure that you back up your files prior to the scan.
Here's one other one that I want you guys to do. Go ahead and go over to your start, type in CMD, run this as administrator, hit yes, then go ahead and type in DISM/online/clean-up-image/restore health. And this command basically just checks for the integrity of your Windows system image, which is essential for updates, installations, and repairs. It scans for corruption of missing files and images, and if issues are found, replaces the damaged components with healthy versions, typically downloaded from the Windows update or a specified repair source. And this basically just restores the system stability and ensures Windows components are functioning properly.
Number 14, manually update your BIOS. I don't recommend this for people who aren't used to updating their BIOS on their own. Do a little bit more research on that. I don't want to drag out the video, but you can manually update your BIOS. See if that'll help you. Number 15, setting Affinity Cores through Task Manager. So what you would want to do is open up Path of Exile 2, open your Task Manager, go to the Details tab, Path of Exile 2, right-click Set Affinity, and remove 2 cores. Now, the way you would do that, Task Manager, Details tab, let's just say this was Path of Exile 2, Set Affinity, and you would just click off CPU 1 and 0, click OK. That seems to be a fix for a lot of people, but however, previously in this video, we talked about the process Lasso, where this will do that for you, so you don't need to do this, because you'd have to do this every time you're going to start the game. I think that would get a little redundant. So if you use process Lasso, like I showed you in the beginning of the video, this will take care of that for you every single time you open up Path of Exile 2. Number 16, clear the CEF cache in Nvidia app. So the way that you would do this is you would hit Windows R, and then you would copy and paste this, there we go, into the diagnostic here, and click OK. Press Shift plus Delete on the cache folder, and then restart your PC, uninstall and reinstall the app, and check and see if the game is now working properly. If the issue persists, in order to troubleshoot the issue, uninstall all NVIDIA components using NVIDIA Cleanup tool. It is a driver removal utility that can help you completely uninstall the graphics drivers, packages from your system without leaving leftovers behind, including registry keys, folders, files, and driver store. Here would be the link to the cleanup tool, so you guys can use that. It's going to ask you to restart your PC laptop once the application finishes running, and then next reinstall the driver along with the app and check if this helps. If this doesn't help, number 17 would be to open the NVIDIA app, click on the ... button next to the PO1 icon, and then select refresh, and the app should now recognize PoE2, not PoE1, removing the PoE1 icon. If you go over here to graphics, Path of Exile, it's currently showing that I'm playing Path of Exile 1. If I click these dots or these dots, hitting refresh didn't really do anything. So it scanned the game, but didn't see that Path of Exile 2 was playing even while I was playing it. So see if that one works for you guys. It didn't really do anything for me, and I'm not sure why personally. And the final one that I have for you guys is clean install your GPU drivers. Ensure that you delete all the Path of Exile 2 folders as well as the registry, and include grinding gear games in that. Just search those keywords, you know, Path of Exile, PoE, grinding gear games, GGG. Find all those folders, the registry, everything. Delete everything that you can find. Then clean install your GPU drivers. Then clean install Path of Exile 2 and see if that'll help you out. Woo! And folks, there you have it. It's your boy YungYdoc. Listen, man, I hope that these tips really helped you guys out, man, because Path of Exile 2 is such an amazing game. I've been having a blast with it, and ironically, I really haven't had any issues with the game personally. I had 1 or 2 soft crashes when I was playing Sorceress, but since then haven't really dealt with that personally. I've been more motivated to do this just to help my friends who have been crashing, just trying to come to a solution for them so that they can get in the game. We can all play, man, and just enjoy the game as fellow gamers, just trying to help each other out, man, and play together and have a good time. And, you know, if this didn't help you, well, then I guess I just got one thing left to show you. We have some breaking news, and it doesn't look good for the community that's crashing. As we wind down for the holiday season, we wanted to thank you all for our most successful launch so far. We could not have done it without all your support. A lot of our team will begin to take some much needed rest over the next few weeks, but we look forward to getting back into the new year refreshed and ready for an exciting year of development, 2025. Happy holidays, Exiles! Listen, man, that's my favorite part of content creation, is just making silly stuff like that. And you know what, man? Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you found this helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to do my best to just continue this little journey on YouTube, man, because it's new for me, but it's something I've been wanting to do for over a decade now, man. I've been on YouTube since a kid, basically. So I'm 32 now, and I've really watched YouTube grow, and I've always wanted to do this, so I'm finally doing it, man, and I'm in a good place. So I'd really appreciate your guys' support, man. I'd like to continue to just grow and provide as much content as I can for you guys, make people laugh, just be an entertainer, and have fun doing it, man. So thank you guys so much for watching the video as always. And of course, spread peace, love, and positivity, man. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. We'll see you guys in the next one.